10 African countries that have had the most coup d'états. Africa has witnessed its fair share of political upheavals throughout history. Among the tumultuous events that have shaped the political landscape of various African countries, coup d'états stand out as significant milestones. These abrupt and sometimes violent overthrows of governments have had profound consequences, affecting the social, economic, and political fabric of the nations involved. While Africa is not unique in experiencing coups, the continent has experienced a notable number of such events. In this video, we will explore some African countries that have witnessed coup d'états, delving into their historical context, causes, and the subsequent impact on their respective societies. By examining these instances, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complex dynamics that have shaped the political history of Africa. 10. Equatorial Guinea, 3 coups. Equatorial Guinea, a country in Central Africa, has experienced a few coup d'états in its history. Notable coups include the 1979 coup, led by Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo, which overthrew his uncle, Francisco Macias Nguema, who ruled with an iron fist. Obiang has since maintained a firm grip on power, leading to accusations of authoritarianism. While there have been coup attempts in subsequent years, Obiang's regime has managed to retain control. The coups and the subsequent consolidation of power have had a significant impact on Equatorial Guinea's political landscape, shaping its governance and human rights record. 9. Ivory Coast, 3 coups. Côte d'Ivoire, also known as Ivory Coast, has experienced political instability and a series of coup d'états in its history. Notable coups include the 1999 coup, led by General Robert Guèye, which ousted President Henry Konan Bédié. Guèye's rule was short-lived. 8. Democratic Republic of Congo, 3 coups. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, situated in Central Africa, has experienced several coup d'états throughout its tumultuous history. Notable coups include the 1960 coup, shortly after the country gained independence from Belgium. This coup led to the removal and subsequent murder of Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba. In 1965, Colonel Joseph Mobutu seized power in another coup, establishing his dictatorial regime that lasted for over 3 decades. The country witnessed further political turmoil and violence, including the 1997 coup, led by Laurent Désiré Kabila, which ousted Mobutu. These coups and their aftermaths have had far-reaching consequences, shaping the complex political landscape and contributing to ongoing conflicts in the DRC. 7. Mali, 4 coups. Mali, located in West Africa, has experienced a turbulent history marked by coup d'états. Notable coups include the 1968 overthrow of President Modibo Keïta, which ended the country's first republic. In 1991, popular protests led to a coup that ousted President Moussa Traoré, ushering in a transition to multi-party democracy. However, in 2012, another coup occurred, precipitated by the military's dissatisfaction with the government's handling of the Tuareg rebellion. This coup caused political and security instability, leading to the occupation of northern Mali by Islamist militants. The coup of 2020 further destabilized the country and resulted in international condemnation. These coups have had significant ramifications for Mali's governance, stability, and development. 6. Ghana, 4 coups. Ghana, located on the west coast of Africa, has experienced a series of coup d'états throughout its history. Notable coups include the 1966 overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, which ended his socialist regime. Subsequent coups occurred in 1972 and 1981, leading to changes in leadership and political instability. The 1981 coup led to the establishment of the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC, headed by Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings. Rawlings would go on to stage another successful coup in 1982, solidifying his grip on power. These coups had a profound impact on Ghana's political landscape, shaping its governance and socio-economic development. 5. Sudan, 5 coups. Sudan, located in northeast Africa, has experienced several coups d'état throughout its history. Notable coups include those in 1958, which ended the first democratic government, the 1969 coup, led by Colonel Gafar Namiri, which established military rule, the 1985 coup that ousted Namiri, and the 1989 coup by Omar al-Bashir, which led to his autocratic regime lasting for 3 decades. These coups were often driven by political instability, economic crises, and power struggles among different factions. They had significant impacts on Sudan's governance, society, and economy, shaping the country's political trajectory and contributing to periods of unrest and conflict. 4. Guinea-Bissau, 5 coups. Guinea-Bissau, a country on the West African coast, has experienced a turbulent history marked by several coups d'état. The first coup occurred in 1980, just 7 years after gaining independence from Portugal. Subsequent coups took place in 1998, 2003, 2005, and 2012. These coups were often driven by power struggles, political rivalries, and dissatisfaction with the government. The frequent changes in leadership have resulted in political instability, economic challenges, and hindered the country's development. Guinea-Bissau has made efforts to restore stability and democracy, but the legacy of these coups continues to impact its governance and socio-economic progress. 3. Comoros, 5 coups. Comoros, an archipelago off the east coast of Africa, has a history marked by political instability and several coups d'état. In 1975, just after gaining independence from France, Comoros experienced its first coup. Subsequent coups took place in 1978, 1989, 1995, and 1999. These coups were often driven by power struggles, ethnic tensions, and political rivalries. The instability resulting from these events has had a significant impact on the country's governance, economy, and social fabric. Comoros has since made efforts to stabilize its political situation and promote democratic governance, although challenges persist. 2. Nigeria, 6 coups. Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa, has a tumultuous history of coups d'état. The first major coup took place in 1966, which resulted in the overthrow of the civilian government and marked the beginning of a series of military regimes. Subsequent coups occurred in 1975, 1983, 1985, and 1993, with varying degrees of political instability and violence. These coups were often driven by power struggles, corruption, and dissatisfaction with the ruling government. Nigeria's history of military coups has had a profound impact on its political development, contributing to periods of authoritarian rule and hindering the consolidation of democratic governance. 1. Burkina Faso, 8 coups. Burkina Faso, a landlocked country in West Africa, has experienced a troubled history with coups d'état. The first coup occurred in 1966, just 6 years after gaining independence from France. Subsequent coups took place in 1980, 1982, 1983, 1987, 2014, 2015, and 2022. These coups were often driven by power struggles, discontent with the ruling government, and socio-economic grievances. The frequent changes in leadership have resulted in political instability, economic challenges, and hindered the country's development. Burkina Faso has made efforts to transition to democratic governance, but the legacy of these coups continues to impact its political landscape and socio-economic progress.